So I'm here on my recumbent bike, and I think it's time to do this video. I talk about what it's like to ride a recumbent bike. I'm going to focus on the two-wheel recumbents because that's what I own. But as I ride around town and I get, people kind of pointing me out saying, oh, look, that's a cool bike, or, that's interesting. And then when I talk to people, a lot of people don't know much about them. They don't know anybody that has them, or they haven't ridden them themselves. Maybe you don't have a bike shop around you that you're able to test drive one. But I gotta say, it's been real eye-opening. Is the first time that a friend of mine and I rented some recumbent bikes and took them for a spin. It was kind of like, wow, this is an interesting and cool experience. So I want to tell you guys all about it because I know there's a lot of folks that haven't had access to them in the past. So let's get into it. So first of all, the most obvious thing and the first thing you'll notice is comfort. When you take the seat and you just kind of lay back like that, you realize you're kind of in a lawn chair, like just relaxing in your yard or whatever, on the beach, and it's just super comfortable. And you're not holding yourself up with your arms or anything like that. You don't have to have a strong core, and it's just super comfortable. And so that's the first thing I'd mention. Next is just when you're on a bike, a recumbent bike, you're laying back like this, and just the feeling of banking left and right, going around curves, is really cool. Whereas on a upright bike, it's just a lot different. You don't really get that, I guess. But just banking through this just feels really cool. And then the aerodynamics of it. Aerodynamics are great on these things. When you're on an upright bike, you're just exposed to so much more air as you're moving along. Where these, your legs are tucked in an upright position, and your body is kind of followed right behind it. Even on the windiest of days, when I bike into work, going across the bridge, I wouldn't notice the wind half as much as when I took my road bike. So a couple things to consider, not that they're really negatives per se, but they're just something you should know about before you look into getting one. Is going up hills takes a little more effort. You can downshift, and that's what you normally do, is just downshift and to overcome that, but you don't have the leverage that you would on a upright bike to kind of stand on the pedals. So it's just, you're pushing kind of against the back of the seat and pushing against the pedals with your legs to generate the kind of force you need to get up a hill. Also suspension. So this bike does not have suspension. You can get bikes that have recumbent bikes that have suspension, so just something to look for as you shop. But as you go over bumps, it's a little different than if you're on an upright bike, because an upright bike, you can kind of stand on your pedals and your knees can absorb the shock of a bump on the road. But this, you're laying back, and when you take a bump, you just have to take it. It's, again, nothing to be alarmed about, but something you should know. All right, so let me just show you a few features that make recumbent bikes, I guess, a little bit unique. It's the same kind of components though, guys. So you have a sprocket, obviously, with pedals, and then you have a chain. Now on a recumbent bike, a lot of times the chain will go the full distance back to the back tire, so it makes for a lot kind of a double or triple chain length. I don't have issues with it. I mean, it's just a longer chain. It doesn't slap. It's not sloppy. It doesn't come off very easily, that kind of thing. But you know, you can have standard brakes like this, or you might have disc brakes, so that's all the same kind of thing. You have derailleur back there. But you know, with a bigger seat like this, you have the ability to put you know, kind of a bigger bag on the back. And this bag's probably seen its better days, but I really enjoyed the ability to put, you know, my flat repair kit in there, a pump, and you know, I can pack a lunch in there, all kinds of stuff. So lots of good storage capability. So the handlebars, a lot of times you will see that they'll fold away, so you can mount the bike a lot easier. I put a little mount up here for my phone. It's really nice because as your head level is here, it's kind of like this view, right like this. You see the road right above you, but you can also see your phone if you need to you know, check for your speed and what have you, if you have a particular app. But it's got a longer wheelbase than a typical upright. So yeah, so those are the major features on a bike, and you know, it's nothing too crazy, nothing too different. You would there are lots on the market, and they all have different features, different configurations, and different shapes and sizes. So I'm sure you can find one that suits you a little better. Sometimes the handlebars are down below the seat even, so you can hold the handlebars and steer down here, and then everything in front of you is wide open, so you don't even have the handlebars in the way. So lastly, I want to show you what it's like to you know, get your balance with a recumbent bike. It's slightly different. It took me about 1 to 2 minutes to find the balance and learn how to ride it. So it's slightly different because you're actually sitting, laying back, and your center of balance is a little different than it is on an upright bike. So what I typically do, and what I teach people is, you want to get a little bit of speed going. So you kind of run a little bit, then lay back, and then you put your feet up. So that's the process, and I'm going to do my best to show you that as I film. So I'm so glad I rented a recumbent bike way back with a friend of mine, and I haven't looked back since. Recumbent biking has been really enjoyable. For me, I'm able to go further distances in more comfort. And just if I feel like I want to tour around town and just kind of have a more casual, relaxed feeling about it, this is my choice. It's been great, and my wife has one as well. So it's been a good experience. I would recommend trying it out. Try to find a bike shop near you that carries some sort of recumbent, and give it a try.